sitting in Oyenstein. I was just doing some work. It's like, yeah, like 7:30, and I just got my bill through, like my first invoice for my 4 samples from my manufacturers, and oh my god, it's so much money. I'm so scared. I am like such a chronic saver. Like, I like to be on top of my finances and like always have like, yeah, savings in the bank, and then like honestly I can't, like, I feel guilty buying myself like a coffee, and then like seeing this, I'm like, it did give me a mini heart attack. Not that I wasn't expecting it, because like I knew exactly how much it was going to be, but it's like so much money. But honestly, it actually feels a wee bit better, because I'm like, then like buying silly things like a coffee or like lunch, because I'm like, right, well this is like an investment into my dreams, you know. And the more money I put into it, I'm like, well, it's just gotta work, gotta make it, yeah, puts more grit in the game. So it's kind of exciting at the same time. But yeah, it did give me a mini heart attack on Saturday morning, but I'm gonna pay it, and I'm actually really excited. This is actually happening, like taking the leap, doing the hard things. So yeah, I'm gonna pay it and celebrate with my coffee on a Saturday morning, and be proud of myself that I got this far, because yeah, it was, yeah, it took steps to get here. So I'm gonna try and celebrate the small wins, because I'm very bad at that. But yeah, super exciting. It's all coming to life now. Okay, bye. So I'm back home from the cafe now, and on my way home I slipped into some shops, which was really bad of me, but I couldn't help myself while I was beside them. And I know this is contradicting exactly what I just mentioned beforehand about how I find it like difficult spending money. With clothes, I can always somehow justify it, but I also think like I would just much rather buy like good quality investment pieces that I know I'm going to get my wear out of and will like last really well, as opposed to just like buying a load of rubbish that I end up replacing all the time. And I'm like, my style is so simple, like I just tend to wear the same things all the time. So if I know I'm going to get my wear out of it, I don't necessarily feel as bad. Honestly, there's pieces in my wardrobe, most of my wardrobe is just like pieces I've had for like years. So that's how I justify it. Anyway, the first thing I genuinely did need, because I am missing these in my wardrobe, and the only pair, so they're these. They are like suede black boots, and I love the height of them and the height of the heel as well. And like I love a pointed heel, and the only pair of black boots that I have at the minute are like ankle boots. But my mum has worn them to death and they're completely destroyed, so I really needed new ones anyway. And I'm loving like the higher leg at the minute, and I was thinking like with the little blazer dresses and tights in the winter is like exactly my style, and I've been seeing like these taller boots everywhere, so they were definitely missing my wardrobe. And so both items were from TK Maxx, which again, I love TK Maxx because the pieces are such good quality, and you can get some like really good brands in there that are like super reasonable. So these were £30, which I thought was amazing. And then the next piece I am obsessed with. I saw this and I was like, oh my god. So it is this blazer, and it's going to be a blazer dress on me because I'm only 5'2", but I love a blazer dress, but I could wear it as a blazer as well, but I want to wear it as a blazer dress. And yes, so it's this blazer, and look at this fabric. I mean, that is just so stunning. I just think it looks so designer, and on that it actually is designer. It's from the brand Scotch and Soda Amsterdam, and this was such a good find. It was £220 down to 40. I mean, I couldn't say no, and I just thought this in winter would just be amazing. Like tights, boots, chunky gold jewelry, Like I've got this like chunky gold ring which I wear all the time from D. Louise. I'm thinking like chunky gold hoops, maybe like a slip bun, or like a like burgundy kind of like purpley dark lip. I just think in the winter that would be so stunning. And yeah, I just thought it was beautiful, and I loved all the details. So like the satin lining, which I love satin lining, and actually all the items in our collection have a satin lining. I just think it feels like so luxurious. And like even like the piping along the side has scotch and soda on it, which I thought was gorgeous, and has a little side pocket. On the inside, I don't love this blue, but we can ignore that. But yeah, I just thought, wow, like look at this fabric. I think that is stunning. So it's like a navy and black. And actually it could go well with these boots with some tights as well. And the reason I also got that was because when I was in the cafe there, I saw that there's this female founders community in London called the Founders Startup Club, or Supper Club, Founders Supper Club, something like that. I'll link it below. But there's the two ones that I like really like at the minute are this Supper Club one, and which I've actually never been to before, but I love the idea of it. It's all just like female founders and they come together and have dinner together. So they were hosting a Christmas party in November, so I bought a ticket for that, and then found that blazer and was like, I could so wear that blazer dress to that event. I'm so excited for that. So yes, that's one that I really would recommend if anybody is interested in meeting more like-minded businessy people when they're in London, because it's all female. I think there's like 20 people usually go to the events, which is really nice, and it's like I feel like that's a nice intimate size. And especially because it's sit down, you can like actually get chatting to people. And then the one that I'm obsessed with and has been so helpful for me is Ecomm Girls Club. So it's founded by Yaz and Lucy, who are both girls in e-commerce and just wanted to meet more like-minded people and more women in the industry. And it is amazing. I think it's literally like £5 a month. And there's like a WhatsApp group chat and everybody talks in it like all day. I've met so many incredible people from it, and it's people from like all different stages in business. I mean, we have people from like Forbes 30 under 30 in it, and then we also have people like myself who are just like completely new starting out, and every girl in it is so helpful, and they do different meetups as well. So I think they've done 2 in London that I've been to, which have been amazing. I've met such nice girls through that. And then they also have a base in Dubai and Hong Kong, because the girls kind of like work from London, Hong Kong and Dubai. And yeah, so if you're in Hong Kong or Dubai, give it a go. I recommend those ones so much, and honestly there's nothing more motivating but also like just inspiring and helpful than being part of a community where everyone else is like on the same journey and like completely relates to you, and there's no gatekeeping. Like people like say how much they charge, people say what their costs are, like what their target revenues are, their like marketing strategies. Like everyone is just there to help each other, and it's been the most amazing thing since I joined and I came to London, and really opened my eyes to just like all the different possibilities. So recommend those two, and that's how I justified my purchase. And yeah, so I'm going to make my lunch now. It's about 12 o'clock and I think I'm going to make a shakshuka. For me, there's just something about like a hot brunch on a weekend that feels so good right now. But I'm also a sucker for a poke bowl, so I might make that. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, it's lunchtime, so I'm going to head to the kitchen and cook something up and put away these things. Otherwise, I'm just gonna leave them left out. So yeah, I thought I would update you, and I shall check in later on. So I'm just getting ready. It's evening now, and me and my housemate are heading out for some drinks because she's going back to Sydney, or well, she's from New Zealand, but she's moving to Sydney in like 2 weeks, which I'm so sad about. But we are having some leaving drinks, so I was just getting ready. Obviously in my pajamas, because I love getting ready in my pajamas. I mean, is that not just like the best bit about going out, is like getting ready in pajamas? I have a little cup of coffee and I'm watching Sophia and Cynthia, and it's the video where Sophia got her bangs, and now I'm like, oh my god, I'm so getting bangs. She looks so good with them. So I'm thinking when I go home over Christmas, I'm gonna get some long bangs. I don't know, it looks so elegant. But yes, just finished getting ready, watching them. They honestly made me laugh so much. Like, their sense of humour is so good. But I have no idea what I'm going to wear, so I need to have a think. But my safe option is always a blazer dress. Hence why I can justify that blazer dress that I bought. But I'm thinking maybe that and boots and tights, because it's kind of getting cold and I'm running out of time as well. But yeah, I'm sure I'll show you. But also, how sweet are these roses I bought? Let me see, the other day, because my room is so neutral. It's literally all cream. And then I saw these and I was like, what a lovely colour. Are they not the sweetest thing ever? I love them. But yeah, I need to think what to wear now. Once I have my outfit organised, I'm getting ready so quick, but see, if I don't know what I'm wearing, it's always a struggle. So it is a couple of days later and I realised I completely forgot to finish filming the other day. I think it was Sunday I last recorded, so it's Tuesday now, and I wanted to pop on and share some of the insights I've got from the Grace Beverley business course that I thought could be helpful, and also share my story of when I met her, because I was proper fangirling and I'm convinced I manifested it. But yeah, so I thought maybe I'll start with the story time. It's probably not that exciting for anyone, but honestly, it makes me cringe just thinking about it, because I was like fangirling. But yeah, so I think it was like 4 months ago, maybe. Yeah, it was like when I just started my business, and I was on a run, and I always work from home on a Fridays, and on my way back to my house, I ran past this cafe and I was like, actually, maybe I'll go there today and work from home from the cafe. So I came home, got ready, and then on my way to the cafe, I was like, I have a really strong feeling that Grace Beverley is going to be in this cafe today. I knew she lived in my area because, I don't know, I think somebody just told me this before, but I'd never seen her. And I kid you not, and then I told myself, if she's in this cafe, I have to speak to her. I have to say hello and I have to ask her for business advice, because I mean, what a business queen. Anyway, I walk in and I kid you not, I was like, can I have a table for one, please? And they put me at this table, and who sat right beside me? Grace. I swear, I just had this feeling. I was like, I just know she's going to be there today. Anyway, I was sat there for half an hour, trying to hype myself up. I was like, you just you just gotta do the hard thing. And I was honestly, my heart was going like a dinger. I did not need the coffee that I was drinking at that time. And it got to half an hour, and she had a wee dogs and all, they were so cute. It got to half an hour and I was like, Corey, you're not leaving this cafe until you speak to her. So she was so nice, and I was so nervous. I feel like my voice was trembling. I don't know why, because I don't know, she's just an ordinary girl, but they're the type of women that I'm upset, so inspired by, these incredible business women. And I've just followed her for so many years. Anyway, I spoke to her and she was so nice, and fair play to her, because she was just there trying to work, and I'm sure she gets asked advice all the time, but she was so helpful. And actually the question that I asked her was, I think something that is a trait of mine is I am such a big vision thinker. I have so many ideas and I can see the end so clearly. And when I first started my brand, I had all the different designs that I was going to create. I drew them all out and I was so, yeah, I saw the whole thing right in front of me. But obviously I was like, never had no experience in business. I did not know how to launch a business, and also I was like funding it all myself. And so I asked her, I was like how many items do I actually launch with? Like I've all these designs that I've made, but like I obviously can't launch with them all. And initially I'd been like, oh, maybe I'll launch with like 4 or 5. And after speaking to her, she was like, pick one item. Pick one item that you think epitomizes everything about your brand and go all in on that. Like make sure that product is incredible and put that to market so that you can get your brand out there, you get customer feedback, you find out what they like, what they don't like, because you might think that they like one aspect, but actually that might not be that important to the customer. Whereas another small thing that you have on the, say, the design, you might never really have thought of as it being that significant, but actually all the customers really like that. And so going forth, okay, so in the forthcoming designs I should definitely include this and I shouldn't include this. And then you're constantly tailoring and iterating, like, to make sure that you're solving what it is that the customer likes. And I know this sounds like so obvious saying, but like whenever you're such a big vision thinker and you see it all, sometimes I find it difficult to like actually narrow down the focus. But what I kind of took from this was as well was like, okay, it's amazing to have this big vision, see the end goal, but actually like focusing and narrowing down on the small steps, on the small actions to get you to the vision. Like they just need to be small little bite-sized pieces. Like just launch with one item, find out how it works, what's wanted, what's not, and then take the next step, and like these are all going to get you to the big vision. But yeah, so that was a really good piece of advice. And if anyone else is looking to like start a clothing brand or just like a product business in general, I really recommend doing that, because also like, yeah, funding it myself, like it really reduces the risk by doing this, because if I had a launch with like 6 items, I would have needed a business loan. I would have tried to get maybe like investment or something. Whereas now I can still fund it all myself. I can keep it in-house. I can like keep control and make sure I have like this perfect item. And also just like raising like brand awareness and sharing more about the brand, and like putting all my money and my like focus and attention into sharing the brand story with this amazing product that like is the epitome of what we're going for. And yeah, sharing more about the brand voice and gaining like awareness and marketing that way. And for context, my brand is called Quotes, and the whole idea is around creating these really elegant, modern, tailored designs, all focused on accentuating femininity. So it's all about the sculpted silhouette and keeping it super minimalistic and like creating that like clean, like elevated aesthetic through designs. But yeah, so that was my little story meeting her. But like it was so weird. Like I just knew on my way to that coffee shop that Grace was going to be in that cafe, and I can't explain why, but I knew. Honestly, females' intuition is like top notch. Anyways, another little learning. Will I go on with another learning, or is that enough? I'll give one more learning that I got from the course. So I think it was like one of the first modules. It was all about like finding like your brand and like what you like and what you don't like. And I love the branding. I think it's so creative, and but like there's so much strategy to it as well. So this was like one of my favorite modules. But so I've written some notes that I thought could be helpful. Basically, again, I mentioned like for context what my brand is, and the course spoke about looking at brands who have a similar target market to you, and looking at like what aspects of this brand do you like and what aspects do you not like, and then looking, okay, how can I incorporate this and how can I make sure I don't incorporate this into my brand, and like having it so clearly laid out. For example, like I've been so like, I love Australian fashion. When I traveled to Australia, I just thought like the style was incredible. It's always like so clean and elegant and just like minimalistic. And so I got, yeah, a lot of inspiration from Australian brands. So how I kind of used this exercise was, for example, looking at a brand like Camilla and Mark. I don't know if anyone knows them, but they're this beautiful Australian brand. And like I love, again, just like they have the most beautiful tailoring and sculpting of like the silhouettes, and super clean, super minimalistic, and I love that. But their price point, and that's something that I really wanted to bring into my own brand, like, yeah, that minimal, modern, tailored designs that really accentuate like the feminine form. But then their price point is just crazy expensive. Like, it's top end designer. Well, I think their dresses are like $600. But that just like isn't suitable for my target market. My target market is definitely more of that, like those ambitious, like career driven, like mid-market women. Like mid-market is in like they tend to shop mid-market, but who, like women who want access to like luxury quality items without the like extreme price tags. So that's kind of what I got from Camilla and Mark. Like, I love their actual designs and the quality of their work, but their price point was like going to be an issue for, that was going to be a problem for my target market audience, and it was going to be a problem that I could solve through my brand. And then there was other brands that I looked at, for example, Kookai. Like, I really loved, again, how they had like a really clean, minimalistic aesthetic. And I loved how they had like consistent brand colors. Like, they had their niche and they stuck to it, and that's what they're known for. And I want that with quotes. Like, I want to be known for our elegant, modern, tailored designs that accentuate femininity. But being Australian, and like their fabrics, I didn't like their fabrics. They're like much more lightweight and like not really suitable for like the UK climate. So it's kind of like I wanted to be able to bring that Australian influence style to, and bring it, like present it in a way that's suitable for like more colder climates and cities like London, like New York, Berlin, Paris, and not just like more of this like beachwear fabrics. So that was like one example, like looking at a competitor, and or just like influences and being like, what do I like, what do I don't like, and how can I incorporate that into my brand. And then another aspect was like looking cross market, like for other niches that have the same target audience. For example, looking at jewelry brands. I'm obviously a clothing brand, but like looking at jewelry brands that I feel like have the same target audience to mine, and seeing, yeah, like what aspects I really like. For example, looking at places like Missouri and Astrid and Mew. I love that, again, super elegant and like clean aesthetic, but it's all about providing these like luxury quality items at an accessible price point. And then looking at like their branding, their strategies, their social media, their tone of voice, and like aspects of that I really want to incorporate. I love how like Astrid and Mew and brands like Ecomm, again, similar target audience, but it's all about like creating an experience. Like, if you've ever gone into the Astrid and Mew store, it's the most amazing experience. Like, I just feel like so relaxed in that place. And again, like the Neom is all about like enhancing like your best self and like your wellness through their products, which is, I mean, everything I'm about. Like, I want women to feel incredible when they wear my clothes. So yeah, anyway, bit of a rant, but that's my story time and how I met Grace, but also some of the learnings. Like, hopefully that's helpful if you're like also thinking about starting a business. Honestly, it has been like the best small investment. Like, it's so reasonable considering how much like content you get, and compared to like so many other business courses. And I feel like her advice is so relevant. Like, Grace has like built these brands in the day and age that we're in, like in the media, like social media industry, and she's just, yeah, I love her brands and how like clear each one of them is. Like, everybody knows what they do, they have their niche, and yeah, I feel like she really knows what she's talking about, and I trust her advice. But just before I close off, I wanted to finish with, again, I mentioned in my last video, I want to finish all my videos with like a quote or a learning or like something that inspired me during the week. So I found this quote and I saved it, so I wanted to read it to you. it's, I don't know if it's a quote, but it's from a podcast from the 437 founder, Adrian, from a podcast she was on, and it says, "It is as simple as being like, what do I want for myself? What do I want my life to look like?" And then slowly, step by step, starting to build that life for yourself. And this like really resonated with me because it was like a massive reason why I decided to start my business all those like months ago, because I feel like for so many years, like I would create this like vision board of like these incredible like businesswoman who was like building a business and like really excelling and like sharing her like creativity and her light with the world. But yet when I actually, and like I had this like dream and vision for my life, but then when I actually thought like would open my eyes and like see my life, like I wasn't actually doing the things that was going to get me there. And it just took me to be like, what is it that I want, and how can I start taking the steps in that direction? Like at the start of the year I was working in a corporate job, had like no idea that I was going to be starting a business anytime soon. But like if I want to be a businesswoman, at some point I have to start a business and I have to start taking the steps to get there. And this doesn't just have to be about business. Like if you have this vision for your life to be one way, and then you realize like you aren't even like your life is so far from that, because like that's how I felt too. Like I was like, this dream that I have for myself, like I'm so far away from it. Like where do I even start? Like just take a small step. For example, like if you like have this vision to be like this super like amazing runner, like you don't have to, but yet you don't have a gym membership, or like you don't run. Like you actually, it gets to a point where you just have to, one day you're just going to have to do the thing. So yeah, rant over. But anyway, I hope that inspires you, and that yeah, maybe like inspires you to like sit back and think about like, what is the life that I actually want, and am I doing the steps that are going to get me there? And if not, like what is the first small step that I can take to start walking in that direction? So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this like vlogging process, and I hope it's helpful for you, and yeah, brings a bit of light to your day. And honestly, if you have any questions about like the Grace Beverley course, or just like starting a business, or like even just like being a 20-year-old, or like moving to a new country, like definitely let me know and I would love to answer them. But anyway, yes, I'm gonna go, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.